Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Change Starts With Us.
Okay, my thing fell down. Hear me?
Yes, go ahead. It's on you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm all set up, all right?
Okay, go ahead. We've already started.
Okay, this is Stephen Herman Crane. I'm being interviewed by CEO and President James Cronenberg. Change begins for us. Here's a series of questions that he had asked me that I'm going to speak on, and then when I mention the question, I'm going to answer each question with what I have to say. I'm calling from LOCI Prison. The first question is, Mr. Crane, 186327. You are presently at LOCI Prison and have served 40 years since 1980. You have been denied parole 6 times, all on the same statement from Ohio Adult Parole Board, COBRA, nature of the crime, and an impact statement made during the sentencing phase in the 1980s. Why? This issue needs to be addressed because for 50 years, Ohio Adult Parole Authority has used this. Former Senator and parole board member Shirley Smith exposed them. Legislation has given the latitude of the Ohio Parole Board with no oversight. Society as a whole needs to object why the same 6 members remain on the board after all that has been brought out of their abuse. Question 2. Mr. Crane, what are your views on ODRC Director of Ohio Prisons, Chambers Smith? On 4/17/2019, I had a hearing. When I addressed the problems to Director of ODRC Chambers Smith, she never received my letter because Assistant Director Ernie Moore intervened my letter and sent it to the Ohio Adult Parole Authorities. I waited 10 months before approved for parole, only to be denied. So that was a whole year not accepted towards my next parole hearing 3 years later. ODRC, Ohio Parole Board, assigned a public defender to me, Steve Michael Herron, whom I immediately wrote. Herron never wrote me back. He answered no emails from LOCI prison staff Dunford. He was instructed to contact Executive Director and Attorney David Singleton to get a copy of a clemency, which would have answered all questions. Herron needed to properly represent me for my 4/17/2019 parole hearing. Steve Michael Herron did nothing to help me after 39 years I served. Since my arrest, 4/8/1980, no one takes any responsibility. We are treated in any manner ODRC's fit. To add insult to injury, when I filed a complaint against Public Defender Steve Michael Herron and Spencer Cahoon, who was Herron's boss to oversee, he did his job. When I called Cahoon on 6/17.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
When I called Cahoon 6/17/2019 and 7/19/2019, his comments by phone at LOCI Prison were totally different from the statement he made in the typed letter to me. Here lies 50 years of the same attitude and behavior of Ohio Parole Board. Ask yourself, why are the same 6 members still sitting on the parole board that should have been removed? Why was Steve Michael Herron assigned a seat on the Ohio Adult Parole Authorities on May 5th, 2019, after his actions towards me just 15 days later? In fact, I wrote our director twice, sending the same letter. She never received it. How can a director create change when those under her trust undermine her? After decades of abuse and blatant actions are clear. Question 3. Mr. Crane, on December 20th, 2019, late night TV channel 34-2, WPBO, WPBS never allow myself to lose faith again or do the actions I did because of mental issues. To know people do care, and I always have someone I can turn to in a time of need. James, I just heard Governor Mike DeWine say on TV, rapists, murderers have a snowball chance in hell that those would ever be considered for a pardon, which include the clemency process under Governor Mike DeWine. Governor DeWine said all they do is clog the system up for those who need to apply. They don't because they do not understand or know what to do. Governor DeWine's comments were as if all my hard work and hope has no meaning. Just as the Ohio Parole Board and Public Defender Steve Michael Herring made me feel at my 4/17/2019 parole hearing. They have made it very clear I have no self-worth and value and have taken all home. And this includes the 5.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
They have made it very clear I have no self-worth or value and have taken all hope. They have done this to 5,000 of us who are over the age of, there's 3,000 of us over the age of 50 who have served over 30 years. What is the problem? Question 4. Mr. Crane, since 2012, ODRC medical care has gotten to a point where many are ignored. Inmates who are on decades of chronic medications have either been taken off or denied. From 50,000 Ohio inmates, especially from older prisoners who are over the age of 50 and served over 30 years incarcerated. How has your medical care been, Mr. Crane, at LOCI prison? Since 2012 arrival at LOCI prison, Chief Medical Director Andrew Eddy has ordered 3 Ohio prisons for 55,000 convicts, all medical care to be cut. This started in 2005, 15 years now, yet Dr. Wood has substituted all chronic care meds, life-threatening meds, with high blood pressure meds, which she is gaining financial compensation from the drug companies to push certain drugs. When a prison has over 1,000 inmates taking these drugs, that is a problem to the safety and well-being of that inmate. In 2016-2017, you had dozens passing out due to over-medicating, yet EKG showed no problem with heart, but a tremendous cost to taxpayers for the ambulance that came at LOCI prison to take inmates to hospital for care. All my eye medications, dental care, liver, lungs, foot doctor, meds for a history of bronchitis, and multiple of medical problem meds, all taken, denied through threats of harassment and admittance into IHS cell in prison hospital used as punishment. These meds taken, I need, and have been on decades, Records show this clearly, all the way back to 1985, SOCF, and prior to that. Many Ohio prisons have an epidemic of AIDS, hepatitis A, B, C, yet will do nothing to treat it. Question 5. Mr. Crane, in 2015, you had a lot of contact with Ohio Justice Policy Attorney and Executive Director David Singleton, who had you file 2 informal complaints, 2 grievances, and 2 appeals. Your first time, Mr. Crane, in 39 years since your arrest in 1980. This is the legal process all convicts must do when Ohio Corrections and Prison denied or took the medical care a prisoner needs. Please explain this process for many in society, Crane, who do not understand. Yes, by law, ODRC has denied this system in order to get medical help. For an inmate, by law, you have to complete this process. There lies the problem for many do not have the money, the means, or knowledge to complete this process. And the state of Ohio depends on this, where you have to file an informal agreement. An informal agreement.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So many suffer in silence since 2001 has progressively gotten worse. Okay, David?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
They said
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang up, get my paperwork ready, and call you right back, okay?
That sounds great, brother.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
He'll be calling back in a little bit. But remember, folks, not everything people say is our opinion, or what we're working on. It's the inmates' opinions and the inmates' right to speak out. And we give them that voice here. So I think excuse me, everybody. We got so many people that text us with different issues. Monday, I have so many medical issues that I need to work on. It's kind of difficult. We need to keep building up a coalition and get people to assist. And I think that's what we're going to have to work on. Is we got to just network with people and start pulling people together. Like I said yesterday in one of the videos, this is going to be ridiculous with the lack of support that we really have when it comes to prison reform or wrongful convictions. We're getting calls every day for help. And now it's time that we need your help as well, everyone. So if you'd like to get involved, please email us at changebeginswithus4sure@gmail.com. Again, that is changebeginswithus4sure@gmail.com, or give us a call at 614-404-4924. 614-404-4924. Let's somehow work together. So I mean, it's I know it's a lot to ask. And I'm just responding back to people that have been texting. I know I shouldn't be doing it during the video, but if you don't, they're going to be constantly texting you back. And here he is now, everybody.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Okay, go ahead and continue. Huh? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I don't know what's wrong. I cannot hear you. No. He's going to have to call back. He's going to have to call back, folks. I just cannot. I don't know what's wrong with the phone there, but so let's just wait till we get a little bit, a bit of a feedback from him. Sometimes, when you use those tablets that you have, it's very, very bad reception. You cannot hear or understand the person at the time. The wall phones are much better, and that's what I prefer, for people to call. So let's see if he calls back and let's see if this is better.
Hello. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Okay,
James, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Tell me when I can start.
Go ahead.
Okay. On question 6, Mr. Crane, why mail so many documents out? For 8 years, I have sent thousands of documents to over 300 politicians, many senators, representatives, and all 12 members of the 133rd General Assembly, House of Representatives, Criminal Justice Committee. They testified in Ohio Supreme Court Joint Task Force on the death row penalty and concerns of the mentally ill. House Bill 136 and House Bill 238 were in direct correlation to my experience in 1980 in arrest. If it was up to my counsel then, Samuel B. Weiner, I'd be sitting on death row. Weiner did not have my best interest at heart. If it was not for myself, unknowingly being incompetent 64 months, I would be on death row. Ohio courts, lawyers, judges had a mentality towards the mentally ill. Frank A. Rita was my judge. Over-medicate and lock him up. I was incompetent for 64 months before my conviction. It took me 39 years to realize Samuel B. Weiner did all he could to go against any suggestions I had. He lied to my parents, me, and... This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored. Samuel B. Weiner, he lied to my parents, me, and worked with Judge Frank A. Rita and Ohio prosecutor Ron O'Brien. Remember, Hinckley received a not guilty by reason of insanity at 39 for shooting President Reagan. Hinckley did 30 years and was released. So Ohio viewed any mental illness poorly. Imagine those on death row now, back in the 1980s. Even now, in 2019, the stigma of mental illness is strongly present by many. Since 2012, I have sent thousands of documents to not only the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., which Patrick DeWine sits on, but also the Ohio Supreme Court, several members there. I sent documents which left doubt McGuire killed Joel Morningstar Stewart. I also sent signed confessions by S.K. admitting he watched the two have sex, argued McGuire left. S.K. came out of hiding and killed Stewart. He told me he killed 17-year-old Karen Spencer off the Cincinnati freeway. He admitted in the death of 9 months pregnant Joy Morningstar Stewart. A 1980 case, 8-year-old Cynthia DeCont in Grandview, Ohio. He was 14, I believe, at the time. His brother killed her. He was given a polygraph and voice test in 1998 and 1999. Detectives at Ron O'Brien present proved he had knowledge in 30 unsolved homicides in Ohio, and Ohio knew it. Being born in Germany in the 1950s, I was experimented and physically abused for the scars from those acts. All documents have been sent to 3 FBI regional offices. I can prove documents to verify all I spoke on. Documents E, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in case number 1998 CR 104 1999. Check transcript in Madison County on regards request of discovery. You will find where Madison County prosecutor is objecting. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored. You will find where Madison County prosecutor is objecting to turning over full discovery because discovery files contain information in over 20 unsolved homicides. Present for Ohio prosecutor Ron O'Brien, Detective Gerardo, Captain Giordano, and Calabrese from Winchester County, New York. SK, whom was questioned, was under the name John Doe to keep files hidden. I always believed in our system. If you worked hard, those in power would notice and recommend me parole. I was naive. For what I may know, I just spoke on. Ohio and those in authority did all they could to shove this under the rug. This testimony, if it came out, can you imagine those who were involved in a position of authority would have ruined careers? Check LOCI visiting homes who came to the prison and visited not only with me in the investigator's office, but also SK at the same time. I knew then when 2 detectives and those who came from Columbus prosecutor's office threw me under the bus, my life, as they thought, in danger. All could be validated because I sent all to the FBI, Ryan attorneys, attorneys Goddard and Court Goddardale, the U.S. and the Ohio Supreme Court Justice, John R. Casey. All documents can be substantiated since 2012. This does not touch the surface. Check LOCI prison cashier records of over 300 politicians, senators, representatives, and the one party I trust the most, Executive Director Attorney David Singleton of Ohio Justice and Policy Center. Mr. Singleton, Jorge Valens, and Molly E. Vermo have received every copy of documentation I sent everyone, well over 10,000 documents, and close to 500 copies of cash slips of every person I sent documentations to, 8 years' work. Ohio Justice Policy Center I have trusted and sent everything, for I admire Mr. David Singleton. Hopefully he will see I see both my sons since I was arrested 4/8/1980, Patrick Ryan Poindexter and Lucia Daniel Poindexter. Her mother is Laura Marie Poindexter. My sister, Susan Marie Crane, married Bill Pastors. He ordered my sister on my parole hearing, 4/17/2019. She was not allowed to speak on my behalf at my conference meeting and will not be welcomed in their home because my grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, dad, brother died, and my mother I worship is in hospice dying. So I'm all alone and lost any support system I had or home. After 40 years served, all I have worked for is gone. I welcome anyone who will write me or email me at LOCI Prison. My name is Stephen Herman Crane, 186327. Please be patient. understand after 39 years in prison, I have lost much knowledge on the real world and what I need to learn. Now, we're going on to question 7. Mr. Crane, can you discuss topics? Excuse me, question 7. Mr. Crane, can you discuss topics you have sent our past Governor Casey and Governor DeWine? Yes, I can. Here's the answer, Mr. Cronenberg. On March 30th, 2016, Assistant Chief Counsel to Governor John R. Casey, T. McCulloch, capital M, small c, capital C-U-L-L-O-U-G-H, used a stamp of Casey's name and denied me clemency. Neither Governor Casey or Assistant Chief McCulloch read any of the hundreds of clemencies he denied. Step 6 on clemency clearly states recommendation and decision. The final decision granting or denying clemency is solely that of the governor. Here lies the problem. Governor Kasich was in Washington, D.C. at the time. It was all on TV and newspapers, and his trip to D.C. was all on the cost of Ohio taxpayers. When I wrote Sean T. McCulloch, capital M, small c, capital C-U-L-L-O-U-G-H, April 8th, 2016, why he used a stamp of Governor Kasech's name and denied.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
When I wrote Sean T. McCulloch, capital M, small c, capital C-U-L-L-O-U-G-H, April 8th, 2016, why he used a stamp of Governor Kasech's name and denied my clemency. He never answered. In fact, both documents are marked Exhibit Z and Exhibit AA in the copy of the clemency I sent to one. Please keep in mind, hundreds of documents I sent him. Most of the time, our governor never views what is addressed to him. In fact, I have a letter which substantiates this. I received a typed response from constituent aide Dustin Burton, typed September 23rd, 2019, suggesting I write the Ohio Bar Association. Here is what is so frustrating to many of us serving time. In the documents I sent, Governor DeWine clearly there are copies of cash slips that I not only wrote Mr. Jonathan Hollingsworth, president of the Ohio Bar Association, October 31st, 2019. I sent him 73 pages and 20 pages twice. And I sent relevant documents. Also were copies I sent to Ohio Supreme Court Justice Patrick DeWine, September 3rd, 2019, 62 pages and 24 pages. It is clear constituents aide Dustin Burton never read or viewed my documents, and it is clear our Governor DeWine never saw or even aware that Article 13 them. This shows us convicts who have served 40 years as myself, Stephen Herman Crane, 186327, LOCI prison. We have no self-worth or value regardless how hard we work. The same response happened with ODRC Director Chambers Smith. When Assistant Director Ernie Moore interviewed my letter as he does emails, how can those in power change Ohio when what we send and express as an inmate in Ohio prisons is show no real concern? Our director, Chambers Smith, was on TV wondering why issues and change are not working, because those under her have made it a point that they see those under her have made it a point that they not see both sides of the coin, which is the same old practice Ohio's done the last 50 years. people don't seem to understand the process of what we go through and what is going on. Now, we're moving on now to question 8, Mr. Crane. Explain the clemency process. Hundreds of families paid $3,000 to $5,000 for a lawyer to draw up a clemency. Court Gothardam in Columbus, Ohio prepared my clemency and hundreds of others. I was disappointed because he refused to include all 30 programs I have completed since my arrest, 4/8/1980.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I was pushed to not mention any medical issues because both parties, I was told, would not take kindly talking about negligent actions by ODRC Medical. Okay, James?
Yes.
I'm going to hang up and call you right back, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. You'll call right back, everyone. Yeah, he'll call right back. So be patient, everyone. He's got to, get back on probably the same phone and call right back. Oh. So let's give it a second. This is the hardest time about here he comes right now.
Hello. This is a prepaid. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using TTL.
Okay.
So I can start?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Once again, this is Stephen Herman Crane, 186-327, calling from London, Ohio Correctional Facility. I'm being interviewed by CO and President of Change Begins For Us, James Cronenberg. Question 8. Mr. Crane, explain the clemency process. Since we were interrupted, I'm going to start from there again. Hundreds of families paid $3,000 to $5,000 for a lawyer to draw up a clemency. Court Gothardam in Columbus, Ohio prepared my clemency and hundreds of others. I was disappointed because he refused to include all 30 programs I had completed since my arrest for 1980. He seemed to have a process that he wanted to do and was not willing to fluctuate or change or add what I needed to be added. And there were several mistakes in it, which in the end, for what my mom paid, close to $5,000, I was very disappointed. I was pushed to not mention any medical issues, talking about negligent actions by ODRC or medical. In doing this, it kind of, that was the whole point of how I was being treated. But he didn't want to do that. So he had a thing that he wanted to do. I wanted to show what was going on in the prisons in Ohio. I realized that my 2015 parole hearing.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I realized at my 2015 parole hearing, when I tried to talk, I was interrupted and asked by Ohio Adult Parole Authorities, did Ohio Justice Policy Center get involved with medical issues? And did I file an informal complaint grievance appeal against ODRC and LOCI prison? I said yes. I was asked if I had been contacting writing political officials. I said yes. I told the Ohio Parole Authorities for 38 years, not once has the parole board mentioned all 30 programs I completed, many twice, or the fact of good behavior. individual parole board member, Shirley Smith, was present. All documentation I sent are in direct correlation to House Bill 136 and House Bill 238. Since 4/8/1980, my arrest, 40 years I've served now, showing a full institutional report summary presented 5/1/2018 and all program accomplishments, yet good behavior, taking responsibility through programs has no value. These documents in response to 50 years of the same mentality many show in office is a clear indication. Once you receive a number, your life sentence is treated as it was in the 1980s. Lock them up, over Medicaid. Mental illness will always have a stigma attached to it. Ohio adult parole days have been very clear. You have 4,000 men over the age of 50 who have served over 30 years of a life sentence, yet no cap on life sentences. Include the medical issues. Fact, older you get, the more care and meds you need. This has all been taken by Chief Medical Director Andrew Betty of Ohio, of ODRC, 33 prisons in the state of Ohio, towards 55,000 inmates. Ohio has conducted itself lock 'em up. Many of us have worked hard. Why would Ohio adult parole authorities keep the same 6 parole board members after all that has been proven? The feds need to come in and make the change in sentencing structure that Ohio fails to do. Now, this Mr. James Carlberg, you mentioned the bill is being drafted by Representative Joseph E. Brinkman Jr. Could you please explain that bill and how it affects life sentence? As myself, Stephen Crane, 186327, of which I have already served 40 years since 4/8/1980. Society as a whole needs to understand that tens of thousands of convicts were improperly sentenced as consecutive rather than by law concurrent, ran together last time. Now, question 9. In the 1980s, prior convicts were given good time and work time and going home fund. Explain this, Mr. Crane. When Clinton took office for 2-year terms as a Democrat, their understanding was to build prisons, and this is where Ohio is crippled now. We are still cleaning up his mess now. First thing Clinton did was he did away with the good time, work time, going home fund. So regardless, you do. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored. So regardless, you do 40 years or 6 months. Most dope fiends leave with $75 and several Narcan pens. That costs taxpayers $200 a walk in case you overdose. These programs and C1 drug programs are a joke. You have so many dirty urines, they ignore it to not lose funding from the federal government, yet it puts guys like myself who serve 40 years in that position. We get in any trouble. Ohio adult parole authorities use it. One who has been sentenced under truth and sentencing, flat time, have an outdate, regardless of behavior, drugs, fight, stealing, sex act. By law, liberty and liability issued to be treated fair and impartial, just as truth and sentencing law, flat time, to be granted general medical care. Ohio violated so many violations, state and federal, and so many in a position Ohio authority choose to pass the buck. This is prevalent statewide and nationwide in America, where our penal system needs a serious change. Ohio has acted with gross negligence for 50 years. Our system is doing nothing to curb drugs. And in 2016, in 3 months, LOCI, the word 430 urine not as I do. Mr. Crane, to question 10. Mr. Crane, why was your sentence ran consecutive while rather than concurrent as it should have been by law? By law, if any crime is done. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored. By law, if any crime is done at the same time, the act you're being charged with, the sentence phase, should be ran concurrent. In the 1980s, Ohio sentencing structure did not follow the law on consecutive and concurrent sentencing. This allowed the state of Ohio to abuse this law to tens of thousands under the sentencing structure, so Ohio Adult Parole Authority could use it to their advantage. If this alone was corrected, thousands would be released. Okay. Society needs to realize the Columbus Dispatch are pro-ODRC and pro-Board Cobra. They care nothing of prisoners or families of prisoners. Think about it. Remember Michael Jackson, 50, arrested for drunkenness and bribery of a cop? He was on Cobra denying hundreds of convicts parole. The Columbus Dispatch held that information for 130 days till they printed it. Who does that? The Columbus Dispatch, known to only put important factors they find newsworthy and keep real news from society and the public. I have seen this time and time again. Remember, they backed ODRC parole board DeWine. Look how they treated FTRR. Shame on the Columbus Dispatch, how they treated James Cronenberg. He did his time. Yet the issue wasn't about the parole board. They wanted to throw him under the bus. Once again, after he served his time, to get the comments off the parole board and what the true issue was. So society and those in Ohio need to realize, I know of only two groups who care for prisoners. James Cronenberg, Change for Us, who's the open president, and FTRR, Ms. King, and her staff. Listen, other groups is Executive Director and Attorney David Singleton of Ohio Justice and Policy Center. Staff members and Jorge Valens, who has received 10,000 documents either by legal mail I sent or I mailed them. When DS of Ohio Justice Policy, when David Singleton of Ohio Justice Policy Center visited me, I made it a point to give him and the team from Ohio Justice Policy Center, when they visited, every copy of the cash slip I wrote hundreds of politicians and documentations to substantiate all about Ohio parole authorities, COBRA, medical, pattern of neglect, abuse, and many convicts serving more time than they should under the law to make politicians aware about Ohio. Under the law, to make politicians aware about Ohio is not an excuse to retaliate and hold against those who see Ohio needs serious change. This is clear. Listen, we are all in a position where we are very limited to what we can do.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Okay, James?
Yes.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Yes.
James?
Yes.
James, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang up, call you right back, and put the rest of my paperwork up so I don't make any errors and I can flow freely, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, I'll call you right back.
Thanks. He'll call right back, everyone. He's kind of interesting. And when he was talking about throwing me under the bus, I'm also the founder of Fair Treatment Reform and Reentry, but they came after me to try to destroy the bill. And of course, we're never going to back down from a reporter when they're in the wrong. We're going to continue to fight, and we're going to win in the long way. Long way, I mean. So, excuse me, I'm just getting way too many texts today. I don't like to necessarily do videos this long, but this gentleman wants to get his story set up there, and I'm willing to air it. Remember, this is not necessarily the views of Change Starts With Us, but we give them the opportunity to share their viewpoints or their concerns with the public. So when he calls back, we're going to finish up. I'm hoping it's going to be finishing up, just because we have a couple more interviews this weekend. It's some of the things are kind of exciting what's happening, but then some are not. Like they're going to they want to take out nature defense, during a pro board hearing, but then they want to give the power to the communities. And I don't necessarily agree with that. So we just have to, find alternatives and assure that the right people can get paroled. And, I believe they will. But not without the help of the public or the help of the family members. We got to have you on our side. We need to have protests.
Hello. This is prepaid. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using TTL.
Okay, finish up, brother.
Okay. This is question 11. I'm calling. My name is Stephen Herman Crane, 186327. I'm calling from London, Ohio Correctional Facility. I'm being interviewed by CEO and President. Change begins for us, Mr. James Cronenberg. Moving on to question 11. Mr. Crane, I've noticed in our correspondence you have written many politicians requesting intervention and help from the Ohio Parole Board, medical, and a cap being put on life sentences in Ohio, and a positive change for ODRC, Ohio, under its management in the last 50 years, which continually remain the same with the same mentality. Governor DeWine's comments on TV on pardons and clemency, it is a clear indication that prisoners have no hope. Governor DeWine's comments that rapists and murderers have a small snowball chance in hell to ever be granted a pardon or clemency. All prisoners are doing is clogging up the system. I see, Mr. Crane, where all one's hard work seems fruitless by Governor DeWine's comments. Please explain, Mr. Crane. Yes, Mr. Cronenberg, I have, since 2012, through LOCI Prisons Cashier. Ms. Marshall, I have sent thousands of documents to over 300 political
from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I can prove every politician I have written with the same copy of cash slips I sent you, James.
Right.
In turn, I made it a point to send thousands of copies to a group of those in power, as it means to have and prove all documents I send on record. They are as follows. To a man I respect and trust highly, Attorney and Executive Director David Singleton of Ohio Justice and Policy Center. I've sent every document and copy of cash slip of every political official I wrote, especially in Ohio, and Jorge Valence and Molly Rumble received thousands of documents at Ohio Justice Policy Center. 3 regional offices of the FBI, including Washington, D.C., the Prison Reform Commission in Washington, D.C., the ACLU, Attorney Goddardam of LLP, though both showed little interest in the care and thousands of documents I sent. Also to Ryan, attorneys Ryan received hundreds of documents. I'm sure David Singleton in Cincinnati, Ohio, would welcome calls on documents I sent with pattern of abuse, negligence, and abuse of authority by Ohio Adult Parole Authority and medical care. Every Ohio prisoner is entitled to by state and federal law and the constitutional right to care. There's also a list that I have here. Pay attention, please. Thank you for listening to my conversation. I have sent and enclosed a list of politicians I sent the following documentations to. If you look at an article from the Dayton Daily News, updated January 19, 2019, Cleveland Democrat former Senator Shirley Smith resigned her post at the Ohio Parole Board, saying the agency is dysfunctional, secretive, and toxic. Shirley Smith, Ohio Parole Board member, quits, calls agency toxic and secretive. Also said to 17 political officials, Governor Casey had his foot in Washington, D.C. for his bid as run for the presidential candidacy. Here are the following names of people that I sent documentation showing this. 1, Representative Joyce Beatty, Democrat out of Ohio. 2, Senate Government Oversight Reform Committee, Ohio Senate Building, Room 222, 1 Capitol Square, Columbus, Ohio, 432-105. 3, Senator Sherrod Brown. 4, Senator Rob Portman, Republican. 5, Senator Lindsey Graham. 6, Representative John Boehner, R.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
6, again, Representative John Boehner, Republican out of Ohio. 7, spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders for President Donald Trump. 8, Representative Michael D. Davola. 9, Senator Carlita B. Tavares, who I hear is no longer serving. 10, Susan M. Pastors, my sister. 11, Senator Sandra R. Williams. 12, Senator Edna Brown. 13, Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat out of California. 14, Executive Director David Singleton out of Ohio Justice Policy Center. 15, Representative Keith Barber. 16, Representative Bill Sitz, Republican out of Cincinnati. 17, Representative Bill Butler, 41st District. Now I want to mind you, this doesn't even scratch surface of over 300 political officials that I've sent documentation to on not just issues of the Ohio Adult Parole Authority, putting a cap on life sentences, the medical situations and problems, but many other topics that need to be addressed. As a constituent and one who has lived this and sees that there needs serious change, I'm trying to make this present. What really bothers me is this. We have a new governor in office, which I was really excited about and was looking forward to him coming in office, especially after his brother got into the Ohio Supreme Court. So I made sure to send them both documentation, just not on the Ohio death penalty, but every issue that I've mentioned, also to show them that they could have executed an innocent man and how the cost of the death penalty is costing Ohio taxpayers $3 million to $500 million. But really, what really discouraged me and just took all hope from me was the comment that Ohio Governor DeWine made. For Ohio Governor DeWine on December 20th, 2019, Channel 34.2, WPBO, WPBS Late Night, to make comments as follows on dealings with pardon process and the clemency, which are the same. Rapists and murderers, there's a small chance in hell, snowball chance in hell, that any of these will ever be approved. All to do is clog the system. The statement states, I have no hope, value, or self-worth under the Ohio Governor DeWine's administration. And this applies to everybody that has to see the parole board or has worked over 30 years, and served over 30 years over the age of 50. Further proof is the documentation I sent in his office and how it was dealt with. Ohio does not want to change, to ignore problems in our system and continue down the same road as Ohio has the past 40 years, 50 years to be exact. It's clear Ohio needs change. To punish a whistleblower under House Bill 238, which I am under House Bill 238, who is showing a pattern of abuse in our system, should be welcomed and not punished or retaliated against, who is trying to better and make a positive change. Those documents show that I have sent hundreds of...
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Those documents show that I have sent hundreds of Ohio and other political politicians that Ohio needs serious change. And with our current administration, it is clear unless we voice change, our situation for Ohio prisoners will remain dismal and continue. Article 13, documents and change help will be tossed in the trash can. Look at what the governor said. Well, come on. You know what I mean? I don't know how to react to that. And not just that, all our chronic medications have been ordered and taken by Chief Medical Director of ODRC, Andrew Eddy, against 55,000 inmates in 33 Ohio prisons. Ohio needs change and help. 4,000 convicts in Ohio prisons who have served over 30 years and over the age of 50, 60, and 70 of age have been denied parole and have done everything right and requested or ignored, yet truth in sentencing inmates are given days off each month. Yet under the Clinton administration, all good time and work time going home fund have been taken. This has not even scratched the surface, but Ohio feels they do not have to follow AR's rules or regulations, state and federal laws. Hey, Ohio orders DR took $1 for electricity for 20 years. No one will replace my money they took, yet I already willfully paid into a wrongful death suit. My state paid for 1985 was $24. It's now $20. All my medical care has been taken, and my medical records prior to 1980, and now verify all I say. Listen, I had to write to Treasury Department for 4 straight years to get Ohio to stop taking the dollar that they were taking each month from 55,000 convicts. Now you multiply that 12 months times 55,000, that's tens of millions of dollars that Ohio has taken, and now they won't even replace the money that I requested. On one of the back of the class slips, I wrote a letter. Please answer. How can we as a team use these cash slips and get them out to the public? To show I have sent over 300 politicians and senators and representatives documentation, clearly explaining problems with the same 6 Ohio Parole Board members and co-board. Remain on the parole board, capping on life sentences, all chronic meds, and all 33 Ohio prisons for over 55,000 inmates for chronic illnesses and chronic care have been taken, ordered by Chief Medical Director of OPRC Prison, Andrew Eddy in Ohio Corrections. Disparity in sentencing. Example, my sentence was ran wild. By law, it should have been ran together. Listen, anybody that's interested in addressing any issues or wanted to write me, please, I welcome you. I have sent thousands of documentation to representatives, senators, congressmen, and I have every cash slip in Ohio. Justice Policy Center has every copy of every cash slip I ever sent. Listen, I know there are a lot of families out there that are fighting for their loved ones. Listen, I'm one of the very few, and it seems like I'm the only one trying to do what I can.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Listen, I welcome anybody who wants to.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Write me, do what you can. You can email me at London, Ohio Correctional Facility. My name is Stephen Herman Crane, 186-327 at LOCI Prison. I have been interviewed by Changes Begin For Us, my CO, and the President, James Cronenberg. I want to thank you for all your time and listening to my long 1 hour of everything that I've expressed. Thank you for your time. James, are you there?
Yes, and we'll do a follow-up with you sometime as well.
Okay, I have other things that I'm going to work on and want to present and get out there. You say this will be on YouTube and Twitter, correct?
This is on YouTube